Hey everyone, welcome back to the live cast stage here at the PlayStation Experience. I'm Meredith Molinari, joined by my good friend Ramon, and Etienne Jacquemain of Breakpoint is here to talk to us about Tennis World Tour. Now, all the sports gaming fans out there have probably noticed there's not a lot of tennis games, especially for the PS4. So tell us a little bit about how this game came about.
Well, it was 2 years ago. We were discussing with my friend, my business partner, and we were like, "There's no tennis game around, and nobody seems to want to do one." So, in fact, we were
actually on
big
screen
fans
and
of
just
the people who made Topspin because we worked with these guys in the past. So, uh, we thought maybe we should do one ourselves. So we called back our friends and we said, "Do you want to do a tennis game?" And they were like, "Yeah, great, absolutely." So we started working on a small prototype, and we laid out a game concept, and we started to discuss with several publishers, and we saw the guys at Big Ben. They were really excited with the project and really supportive. They wanted to commit on a great game. They wanted to make something huge and commit on quality. So that's how it started.
Nice. So would you say this is the spiritual successor to Topspin?
Yeah, something like that, because we wanted to make a true simulation game. We wanted to keep what was great about the Topspin series, the fact that it's a game about motion capture, a very accurate simulation with a great appeal to hardcore gamers. But also we wanted to change some of the things that we think would have evolved with time, because a lot of time has passed since the last Top.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, yeah,
It's been a while.
and video games have evolved. So we wanted to change the way the difficulty was set. We wanted to change to make the animation, to push the animations a little bit further. So we started to work on the animation, because it's the key to making a great tennis game. It's how it looks and feels, how the motions come out naturally or not. And so although we loved the Topspin game, we thought that some of the movements were not exactly real natural tennis movements, because sometimes, and it happened in all the games of this era, right? The movements were cut out a little bit, like in video games. So you had players waiting for the ball like this, doing micro steps, which never really happens in real life. So we thought, how could we fix that? So we worked with real pro tennis players.
Nice.
We started working in a mocap lab, and it didn't come out really well, because they couldn't really play tennis. They were more playing mocap than tennis, right? So we at the end we put them on a real play field, and we asked them just play tennis with the real movements.
Nice.
And the whole panel of movements. So we recorded every move they could do, with every distance, every context,
Wow.
every type of swing, every ball height, and we mocapped everything, and we created a kind of AI system that was able to sort it out and find the right animation for the right context and blend them together. So it always feels like the movement is natural, and there's the preparation move starts during the movement, and you always keep the control during that time. So
I almost am afraid to ask how long that whole process took, because I know you work a lot in mocap, and it's a very long, arduous research process
Yeah,
before
we
you
spend
can even get.
Our team spent days.
well,
and
it's
days.
it's more than 6 months of work to have
Nice, that's
to
a
have
lot.
the first glimpse of the game, and before that, you work like dogs, but there's nothing playable. There's nothing that feels or looks like tennis. So you have to really trust yourself when you're doing that. But we have a great team, and we have people that are really committed to it and great fans of tennis.
Are they all really big tennis fans? Because I think that really helps when
Yeah.
you're doing a sports sports game to like understand the mechanics of the sport that you're trying to,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
simulate in a video game.
Yeah, the programmer is my business partner. He's a guy who's been in the industry for 30 years, and he plays tennis a lot, and he's really trying to find how the animation could be better, how it fits with the move, how you can keep control of the player, because that's also an issue in the sports game, right? If the animation is very precise, but the choice of animation is made too much in advance, then sometimes you get the feeling that you're not really controlling the player. Right. And this happens a lot in previous games, where sometimes you're asking the player to go left and it waits a little bit, and at some point he goes left.
Stuck in animation, you gotta wait for him to branch.
Yeah, that's it. So we really try to polish that and make it feel natural, but also keep the control at any time.
Awesome. So you mentioned this is a true simulation tennis game. So what can we expect multiplayer-wise? Can you tell us?
Yeah, multiplayer. Well, we'll have pretty much the same type of modes that you had in Topspin. There's a worldwide ranking and ongoing challenges.
Awesome.
And there's also a bi-weekly challenge where you can become number one, world number one. And you can also play with your friends, just pick up the pad and play.
Nice.
Now you mentioned that you had, you know, some real tennis players playing there for your mocap to do all your research. You can actually be some of those pros in this game. I read that you have over 30 different pro tennis players that you can actually play.
Yeah,
can you share any of those with us now today? Maybe?
Yeah, that's
maybe one or two.
Take one's good.
A couple of them have already been announced. We have Roger Federer, of course.
Okay.
We've got guys that like David Goffin, John Isner. We've got girls we've got Garbine Muguruza. We've got Angelique Kerber. And also I'm happy here to reveal today that we have Michael Moe and Taylor Fritz. And the third one I can't remember. That's a shame. But we've got five US tennis players, and men and women. We're gonna have a lot of variety.
That's great. Now, would you say that this is a game more for people that are really like hardcore tennis fans, or if you're just like a casual sports gaming fan and you want to pick this up as a beginner, do you think they'll still have a good time?
That's a great question. We wanted to make the game easier to pick up and play, because that's also something some players I know love it from Topspin, because there's like hours of training before you can really master the game. But also, it's a bit frustrating because you have to really learn with your muscle memory when to press the button exactly if you want to catch the ball. It's something we wanted to make easier. So it's not to say that the game is easy, because it is a real hardcore game with a lot of mechanics, with a lot of tuning you can do on the character. You can really spend a lot of time creating. Upgrading your character with a lot of parameters.
Oh, nice.
But at the same time, it's very easy to pick up and play. So you can grab the pad, and if a friend wants to join and he's never played tennis before, it's basically a bit like FIFA. You know, you can play FIFA. It's really easy. But if you want to really go far in the career, it takes a lot of time and a lot of playing.
Yeah,
so there's tons of hours in this tennis game for people to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So you're not going to be able to master it as soon as you pick it up.
So we have a full career mode, which is going to be very dense, and we want to let the player live the life of a real pro tennis player. Also, I can't reveal too much right now because there's still a lot of things to do in the game. But we're going to show the players what the pro players do when they're not playing tennis.
Oh,
okay.
A little sneak
Nice
peek into their
little sneak
lives.
peek.
Yeah. Now I noticed here when just the animation that we're seeing, there's different types of courts. Will you guys, because I know obviously in tennis there are like 3 major different courts that you can play on. Will they all be playable in the game?
Yeah, we will have grass, we'll have clay, we'll have hard surfaces, and they all play a great role in how the ball works. The physics of the ball is different. The speed of the ball, the bouncing, the spin also changes, and it goes as far as the location and even the altitude of the location acts on the physics of the ball. It also acts on the stamina of the players. So it's really dense. We try to put a lot of parameters to give the player the sensation that he's really playing tennis with the real physics and the real outcomes of the physicality of the sport. That was really important for us.
Now, this is what the meter that we're seeing, is that how hard they're hitting the ball, or is that?
That's the charge. You mean the
little meter that comes up?
Yeah, that's the charge. In fact, what plays a great role in the game is how you choose to take to hit the ball in a hard way or not, if you're charging or not, if you're taking risks, where you place yourself on the play field, how you choose to the choice of spin and of swing you make. This is going to be very important for the success of the game.
There's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options. Full career mode, over 30 players, real physics, tons of mocap. Finally got a tennis game coming to PlayStation 4. Awesome.
It's very, very exciting. So when can PlayStation fans get their hands on this tennis game?
It's going to be released around May next year.
All right.
May. All right.
Release date.
Yeah.
Got a release date.
All right. Well, Etienne, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
we really
for receiving me.
Thank you for finally bringing a tennis game to the PS4.
My pleasure.
So check out Tennis World Tour, which will be coming May 2018. Stick around. We got a lot more here on PlayStation Experience.
PlayStation